Hello everybody, I'm really excited to be showing you some of our brand new products. So in case you don't know, I'm Leanne Chivers, Head of Product Development here for Crafters Companion, have been for the last 9 years, and I'm responsible for developing all of the fabulous products that Crafters Companion bring to you, working very closely with our fabulous Sarah Davies and ensuring that everything we do is the very best quality it can be. The newest thing that we're adding to the range are our fabulous range of Spectrum Noir ink pads, and we've got something for every occasion that you could possibly need, and we've made it very easy for you to understand their applications. One of the things that I've always found difficult through my crafty journey, and I've been crafting for many years, is which ink pad do I use for which thing? How do they work? What result am I going to get? How do I know when to choose the right one for the technique or the application that I'm using? So here at Crafters Companion and at Spectrum Noir, we like to simplify everything. We like to make it easy and accessible, but never compromise on quality and performance. And I think we've managed to do that with this range of fabulous ink pads. So the first ones I want to show you are two of the ones that I get asked about the most in terms of which ink pad do I use for which application. These are our two Finesse ink pads. So we've got two different ones here, and these are for working with your watercolour medium, so a waterproof ink pad, and your alcohol medium, so an alcohol proof ink pad. And we've done that so it makes it very easy for you to identify which one you need for the type of technique you're going to carry out. Now, why have we called them Finesse? We've called them Finesse because you're going to get beautiful, fine, crisp, detailed stamped images that you can colour with all of your different colouring mediums. You're going to get a perfect impression every time. They're archival and acid free, so you get all of the things you need for doing your journaling and your memory books and things that you want to be heirlooms for years to come. And you get a range of different colours to open up a wealth of techniques for you. You get exceptional fine detail, no horrible thick smudgy lines. That just makes your work look professional every time. And of course it's easy to choose the ink pad that you want to use because one is waterproof, does what it says on the tin, and one is alcohol proof, does what it says on the tin. So I'm just going to show you some samples with those, and I'm going to show you the colours that you can expect to get with them as well. So there are two Finesse ink pads. Now each of those Finesse ink pads come in 4 different colourways. Excuse my huge piece of paper here which shows you those colours. Apparently we had no A4 left in the copying machine, but there you go. So you can see we've got 4 colours here, and we've got a beautiful black, a really true black. We've then got flagstone, we've got pebble, and we've got rustic brown. So we've got that lovely range of those different colours that you want to stamp your images and give you lots of different techniques. So they're the 4 colours that you're going to get in both types. Let me show you what you can do with them. Here we've got the ink pad that we would use with alcohol markers. So this is Finesse alcohol proof that we've used on this sample, and you can see here this is a beautiful card that's been coloured in with our Illustrator markers, and you can see the lovely fine detail that we've gotten with that stamped image. There's no horrible thick smudgy lines. Most importantly, when you get really close in there, you can see there's no bleeding of that black outline, there's no feathering, there's no blurring from the alcohol marker going up close to it. And it hasn't moved at all. That's taken us a long time to develop. Trust me when I say I went through many different formulations, worked very closely with the manufacturer to get the formulation of this ink pad absolutely perfect, so that you can expect using your alcohol markers to get that beautiful crisp detail every time without fail and without any effort. It just works. So that's the alcohol one. Then we've also got here a watercoloured sample using the waterproof dye ink pad that we've got here, and you can see here when you get close again, we've coloured these with our aqua marker pens, and again you can see that beautiful fine detailed crisp line. There's no feathering, no smudging, no blurring when the water's been applied with that aqua marker. You've just got that lovely detailed crisp line that has remained even though you've done your watercolour technique with it. So 2 different ink pads for 2 different mediums that you're going to use, your alcohol proof one and your waterproof one, both performing in the same way, beautiful fine detail time after time. And both of those come in those 4 different colours that I told you about earlier. So you've got your black, you've got your pebble, your flagstone and your rustic brown. What else does that mean you can do? So you can do fabulous silhouette stamping with those. Look how crisp and clear that silhouette image is on there. And you can see again, there are no little missing pieces, there are no fuzzy edges, no blurring. It just is a beautiful crisp image. And to be able to stamp a silhouette image with a black ink pad, like our Finesse Ink Pads, and get that beautiful crisp detail is not something that's easily achieved. But we've done it with these ink pads. So that's what you can expect to achieve. What else can you do? Well, here, I adore this. This is using the palest grey in the set, which in fact is our Pebble. It's like a paley brown grey. It's a lovely, lovely colour, but it allows you to do the no-line colouring with alcohol markers. You can see there, that looks like something that's just been freehand drawn and coloured, but actually it's been stamped with a very pale ink on the outline and then coloured with our illustrator markers. Looks exceptional, does it not? They'll work on your different mediums. So you can see here we've stamped on a little wood MDF shape and coloured with our sparkle markers. Now sparkle markers are a water-based dye, so very easily you choose the waterproof Finesse ink to work with that. It makes the choice easy for you, so you never have to worry about which ink pad do I use with which type of medium. We've also used it to stamp on vellum. And we've coloured with alcohol marker on vellum to show you how fabulous this is. And because we're using alcohol marker, guess what? We use the alcohol proof ink pad. Again, makes the ink pad selection for what you're going to be colouring and the technique you're going to be doing very simple and easy. And then finally here, you can see that I've used it is part of our paint fusion technique that our fabulous Sheena Douglas brought to you, and you can see you've got that beautiful outline where actually it doesn't overwhelm that paint technique that Sheena brings to you. It just gives you a guideline of where to put your paint. So these ink pads can be front and centre as a silhouette, a really solid crisp black outline if that's what you want for your project, or they can be subtle and distant and in the background and just giving you a guideline for all of the different techniques you want. So remember, they're acid free, they're archival, and they're very clearly, I think I might have shown you one of them upside down before. If I did, I'm sorry, but here they are the right way up. Very clearly marked so that you can see whether they're going to be for an alcohol technique or whether they're going to be for a water technique. So that's Finesse. That's just the first one. I've got so much more to show you. I'm ridiculously excited. Second one. Which one next? Let's go with our Harmony, because I think these are the ones that I am the most excited about. So our Harmony ink pads are a water-based dye blendable ink pad set. You can see here that we are selling them in tiers of 3, and I want to show you why we're doing that. We're selling them singly as well, but we've grouped them, as you would expect with Spectrum Noir, into harmonious colour sets, colours that work together beautifully. We started that from the very beginning with our colouring ranges, with our Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, where they were all put together in sets of 3, the blending families and cool and warm tones. You loved that so much and found it so easy to select your colours. I wanted to continue that with our range of Harmony pads. So you can see we've got them in the waterfall here in these beautiful pinks, our pretty pinks, and you've got a plum jam, a fuchsia and a pink tulip, going from the dark, the medium and the light tone. What does that mean you can achieve? This is what you can achieve using those 3 colours. Exactly what I'm talking about in terms of a harmonious blend of colour. So you can see we've gone from the plum jam to the fuchsia and the pink tulip at the bottom. Beautiful harmonious blend of colour using those 3 water-based dye ink pads. Now, I just want to show you very quickly all of the colours that you can expect to get. And I won't read them all out because it'll be like the Oscars and we'll be here forever. But certainly on this sheet, another very large sheet of paper, which I'm hidden behind here, you can see those beautiful groups of 3. So you've got everything you would need in your craft range of colours. You've got your beautiful blues, you've got your aqua blues, you've got your lovely regal purples and pretty pinks. You've got your fiery reds and summery yellows in there. We've got our verdant greens. I love that name, verdant green. And then we've got our mineral greens as well, which are much more earthy. And then you've got what you need in terms of all of the neutral colours that are essential for our projects, in terms of your earthy browns and your dusky colours and just your blacks and your neutrals and everything else you would need. So they're the full range of colours that you can see there. And each one of those has 3 in the set. So you've seen the pinks. You can see the same follows for the blue set here, where we've got our beautiful aqua blues, and we've got Lagoon, Parakeet and Oasis, a dark, a medium bright and a light tone. And then we've got the same here for our wonderful fiery red collection, where you've got Bordeaux, you've got Chinese red, and then that beautiful orange colour. So a beautiful harmonious range. Now, what can you do with these? The world is your oyster when it comes to these. What can you not do with them? You can do all of the things you would expect to do with a blendable water-based dye ink. And so you've already seen this one. You can see here, we've done our 4 bleaching techniques on a chipboard shape, and how wonderful and bright and vibrant those colours have remained. You can ink up your sentiments and just ink your backgrounds. Look how smooth the blend is on that background with the clouds there, how smooth the blend is around the sentiment. We can use our stencils and layer up the colours. These are our beautiful stencils that Sheena did for us. And you can see that that's the one where you've got 3 stencils and you layer up the colours. Shows you how the harmonious colours go together and bring that design to life. You can create your starry backgrounds if you want to with these. You can do all of your 4 bleaching. You can watercolour with them. But then again here you can see, just using them as a blend of colour through a die cut shape, if that's what you want to do, how beautiful and smooth and vibrant those colours are in the background. I think that's the thing I want you to see the most. Please don't underestimate these with any other ink pad that you might have used in terms of a water-based dye. The colours you're going to get are exceptional, and that's something that I was very firm about when we were developing these range of dye water-based dye inks, because I wanted the colours to be kapow, to be in your face, to be able to have them very soft and muted if you wanted to, but to have them right there and make a statement if that's what you want to do as well. And having them in the range of 3 harmonious colours does that for you every time. So last but very definitely not least, we've got our watermark ink pad, and this is what you need to be able to do all of your resist techniques, to be able to do your heat embossing with your embossing powders, and also to do your tone on tone stamping for backgrounds. So it literally does what it says on the tin. It is a clear watermark ink pad which you would use with your heat embossing powders. So for example with this one, we've done a beautiful background using the Harmony ink pads that you've just seen, and then we've stamped that image and used a white embossing powder using our watermark ink pad, and then just watercoloured it using the Harmony ink pads again. How beautiful and vibrant is that sample? Same one here, you can see. And then for this one, what we did is with the sentiment, stamp onto vellum and heat emboss with a white embossing powder to get the sentiment. So that's just what it says on the tin, but every crafter needs that, and it's very sticky. Let me tell you that. So I've sometimes used ink pads of this nature and been a little bit disappointed because my heat emboss powder might not have stuck everywhere. I might have had little gaps where it hasn't been a really crisp application of that. So it's good and sticky and will perform brilliantly for you. So that's everything I wanted to tell you about the new range. I'm incredibly excited. I'm sure you can tell that. And I'm really looking forward to getting my hands dirty and show you how to use them. So let's say bye for now and go and have a look at the tutorials.